It's throwback to GB 2016 time, where we analyze the questions for points and examples you can raise if these issues come up again. Is competition always desirable? The subject of debate here is really broad, which makes this a great entry-level question for anyone to do. Competition is all about the pursuit of winning, of beating others by establishing one's superiority over others. So what is the function of competition? Why is it so good and desirable? Here are 3 common points people usually bring up. First, competition promotes economic efficiency. With competition, the swift and the strong survive, and the weakest get whistled down. This allows scarce resources of capital and labor to get reallocated and distributed only to those who use it most effectively. And that's how we get more optimal output and productivity. Second, competition creates motivation. Competition gives us a common reference point of the gold standard we should all be trying to attain. Without competition, we might get content with our mediocrity and lack the inspiration to be the best that we can be. Third, competition establishes societal order. Competition creates a clear hierarchy of leaders and followers. Those who emerge at the top are presumed to be of the highest caliber, who are then trusted with more power and more responsibility. But what makes this question interesting is that word always. Competition sounds perfect if you're operating in a world of ideals. Realistically, there are different contexts and circumstances where competition doesn't quite lead to those 3 benefits that we just talked about. So when does competition create undesirable results? In honor-based cultures, where a lot of personal stake is placed on status and reputation, the obsession with winning can actually bring physical, emotional, and mental harm. In Japan, South Korea, and China, death from overwork is a documented phenomenon. Ambitious young students and professionals can work at punishing levels, pushing their minds and bodies into overdrive in the desire to excel. The cause of death is usually a heart attack and stroke due to stress and poor diet. So while we may believe that competition makes our economy efficient because it sees out the strong from the weak, we can also argue that in a culture of excessive competition, even the strong get burnt out and whittled down as well. The strain of excessive competition can bring down productivity levels and make us inefficient. We may not always get the highest returns for the best outcomes from a system built primarily on stress. The trouble also with the idea of competition being a source of motivation is that competitions are often set according to the values and norms of a cultural majority at the expense of the values and norms of a cultural minority. This is most problematic in multicultural, heterogeneous societies. Let's take the Academy Awards, the ultimate competition for the film industry. For years, Best Acting Award nominees tended to be white Americans, partly because many leading roles in movies often went to white actors, even roles that were designed for minorities. In 2016, the hashtag #OscarsSoWhite went viral as people protested the underrepresentation of minorities in annual Academy Award nominations. Blogger April Rain, who created the hashtag, argued that it's not because there's a lack of quality films that star or feature people of color. That's not the issue. The Oscar voters are. They are 94% white, 76% male, and the average age is 63 years old. Persistent discrimination in the system can be incredibly demotivating. Minorities in Hollywood have long complained that even when they follow all the rules of the game, they still lose. On that last point about competition establishing societal order, what does that imply for societies experiencing greater inequalities of income? In such societies, people do not compete on a level playing field. Those who are richer have more resources that give them many advantages from the start. Winners tend to keep winning and passing on those winning advantages to help the next generation win too. Competition can deepen and widen the gaps between the haves and the have-nots. For instance, countries like South Korea and Singapore are highly competitive education systems in the belief that those who emerge at the top would naturally be the most competent leaders to steer the country's corporations and government organizations. Yet, citizens in both countries have also been debating about whether overrepresentation of elites in leadership positions tends to create underrepresentation of the common man's interest in business and politics. If you have many advantages going for you, chances are you have personally experienced many of the benefits of competition. You can make your case for why it's something to be embraced. On the other hand, if you had less advantage in life, chances are you have been personally impacted by some of the less desirable aspects of competition. You can make an equally compelling case about why we shouldn't be too quick to worship a culture of winning at all costs. Whatever your views, remember to give the other side a fair hearing and present a broader and balanced perspective to your readers. Thanks for watching. If you want to learn more about how the world works, click on the links below to get a free trial class at the School of Thought. If you want a full breakdown of all the GP essays of 2016, Find out on the link below how to get our annual Broader Perspectives essay issue.